Hi everyone, this is Priyanka Snani.
I'm Tasneem.
I am Zarnesh.
And I am Pallavi.
And today we will be reading
The Elephant Bird,
written by Arifa Tehseen
and illustrated by Sonal Goyal and Sumit Sakhuja.
Munya knew that the giant, one-feathered elephant bird had not swallowed the horse. Yes, he was big enough to swallow a horse, but that did not mean he had. The village of Adania had only one horse cart pulled by two horses, Vayu and Dirt, and Vayu had gone missing near the lake in the jungle where the bird lived. The villagers had known about the elephant bird for generations. He was the last of his race, which was considered exist for thousands of years. The world did not know that the living relic of that race, who had lost all his feathers but one, still roamed the jungle of Adania. The bird and the villager kept a safe distance from each other, but not Munya. Although she walked with a limp, she was brave of heart. She often slipped into the jungle to watch the elephant bird. The elephant bird came near the lake in the daytime to bask in the sun or play in the lake alone, splashing water. Sometimes he sat half submerged in water, at other times there was no trace of him. Perhaps he just rested in some corner of the dense jungle. He stood as tall as a tree. He had a long, strong neck, huge legs with claws, and a heavy spire-like head. His long talons and nails looked scary. But Munya soon realized he was a shy, herbivorous bird. He just munched on leaves by the lakeside. Munya felt she had something in common with him. The elephant bird could not fly and Munya could not run. Other village children mocked her lip and did not include her in their games. That's why she liked staying alone.
Munya helped fetch 3 pitchers of water from the village well and collected wood so that Amma could light the stove. And then she would be out for a long time. Amma believed she went out to play with the kids. Little did she know that Munya went into the jungle to the lake where the elephant bird lived. One day, gathering courage, he stepped into the open near the lake. Without turning his head, the elephant bird rolled his eyes towards Munya and then closed them, uninterested by her advance. Getting no more attention than the flies buzzing over his head, Munya stomped her feet. Suddenly, the elephant bird lifted one of his claws. Munya cried and fell headlong into the shallow waters of the lake. She came out drenched to see him shaking all over. He was laughing. "That funny, whom?" she asked angrily and turned to leave. Before Munya had walked away from the clearing, something hit her face. It was a fruit that the elephant bird had thrown at her. The elephant bird wanted to play. Hesitantly, Munya threw it at him. He trod sideways and caught the fruit in his beak. Thus Munya's friendship with the elephant bird had begun. And just when she had finally found a friend, Vayu had gone missing, and everyone's suspicion had turned into the elephant bird. After searching for Vayu high and low, the villagers gathered under their own banyan tree. Everyone agreed that there could be no thief in Adania. They all trusted one another. The lieutenant swore that he had seen Vayu gallop away towards the lake. There is no sign of Vayu anywhere. It must be something in the jungle that caught him. The villagers trusted the headman. "Who else can it be but the giant one-feathered elephant bird? He must be destroyed," said the lieutenant. "For years he has been lying silent, hatching his evil plans." The crowd agreed. Munya watched the proceedings quietly. She wanted to speak, but was scared of being punished for speaking out. Even if she spoke, who would believe her? Yes, all these years of aimless living has made the giant dangerous. Said Munia's father, today it is our horse, tomorrow it may be our children. The headman spoke over the villagers and shouted, brothers, even though we are facing a giant, we have that strength of numbers. So let us go out and finish him.
A cheer of approval went on. The elephant bird did not eat the horse. Munia said softly but firmly, leaping forward. I was with him when Wildman went missing. A heavy silence fell on the gathering. What does this mean? Roared the headman. That elephant bird is my friend and he has not done this. This girl has lost her mind, shouted someone from the back. The other children laughed. He only eats leaves. How can he eat Vayu? Munia shouted, not moving from her place. You can't even plait your hair and you're giving us advice? Munia's father fumed and came towards her. Go play with your friends. This elephant bird is the only friend I have, said Munia. Her father glared at her. She didn't cry and stood there facing the villagers. Forget about the girl. We will get the elephant bird in the morning, said the headman, and the gathering dispersed. Munia had only one night to prove the elephant bird's innocence. Think, Munia, think, she whispered to herself. The milkman saw Vayu gallop away on the road that goes to the lake, but the road takes a turn before it reaches the lake and goes towards Chandesara. What if Vayu had gone that way? Munia's parents were angry with her and sent her to bed without speaking a word. Once they were asleep, she got out of bed, took the hanging lamp, and stepped out of the house. She crossed Athanya and came to the jungle path leading to Chandesara, the neighboring village. Ooh, rang the call of an owl in the jungle air. A jackal howled from a distance, the shadows of trees moved like long, dark fingers. She hesitated for a moment, but then thought of the elephant bird sleeping peacefully in the jungle. If she didn't do something to solve the mystery, the elephant bird may not be alive to see the next night. She took a deep breath and limped alone on the jungle path in the dead of the night.
The next morning, the villagers gathered near the lake with sticks, sharp stones, and long kitchen knives. The elephant bird was resting when the crowd approached him. The sun shone on his featherless back. He got up slowly and stared at the crowd. Looking at his size, the villagers stopped at some distance. After a moment's hesitation, the headman cried, "Be ready!" The mob roared, forming the grip on the weapon, ready to run down the giant one-feathered elephant bird. "Stop!" Munia's thin voice cut through the din. She limped between the mob and the giant. "Munia, come back here at once," her father ordered. "Grab her!" cried someone else. Munia's father and another villager rushed towards her. The elephant bird advanced a couple of steps and they stopped. "Okay, if this is how you want it, we'll tackle both of you together," yelled a man holding a spear. "What's going on?" someone shouted from behind a crowd. A slightly hunched man with a long beard came in holding a horse's reins. The headman asked with a surprised look, "Sarthi, what are you doing here? And why is Vayu with you?" "Oh, as you know, I had sold Vayu to you some years back. Yesterday I was passing by your village early in the morning in my buggy pulled by Jabru and Gabru, Vayu's brothers. I don't know how Vayu got loose and follows us back to Chandesara. I couldn't recognize him and didn't know what to do with him until this morning when I saw this little girl going from hut to hut asking about a lost horse. But what is going on?" he asked again. The villagers did not answer Sarthi. They hung their heads in shame. Munia's father went to her, lifted her in his arms and took her back to the village. Since that day, no child laughed at Munia's limp. They all wanted to be friends with her and they all wanted to be friends with the elephant bird. Munia's tale reached many villages and the villagers in faraway hamlets speared to each other. Munia knew that the giant one-feathered elephant bird had not swallowed the horse.